Welcome to the Interstellar Sleep Archives. I am the archivist, an individual with a name of no importance, a quiet traveler gathering bedtime stories from distant species, cultures, and civilizations across the galaxy in order to understand the hearts of those who dwell among the stars. Every culture teaches its children what matters most through stories told before sleep, tales that reveal the hidden values of a civilization. Some stories teach patience, some teach honor, others teach the quiet secrets of survival. Each night, the archivist reveals a tale from the Interstellar Sleep Archives. Tonight's record from the archives is classified as Alpha Quadrant Cultural Narratives, subclassification Youth Instructional Tales. This entry comes from the Cardassians. Cultural context. To understand a Cardassian story, one must understand the rhythm of Cardassia Prime and the heart of its union. One must not listen to a Cardassian story with human ears. On Cardassia, certain ideas are never questioned. Duty, for example, continuity, the quiet assumption that a life is most meaningful when it serves something larger than itself. The Cardassian Union is often described as powerful. Cardassians would say something simpler. It is necessary. Their stories reflect this. They do not often celebrate transformation, or rebellion, or even individuality in the way other cultures might. Instead, they return again and again to the same themes: service, sacrifice, legacy. Some might call these stories repetitive. Cardassians, of course, would call them reassuring. And now, without further ado, the Interstellar Sleep Archives presents The Bedtime Story, The Unbroken Thread. Long ago, in a dwelling of polished stone, where even silence seemed intentional, lived a young boy named Elim. He was a thoughtful child. On Cardassia, that is not always encouraged. Like all children of the Central District, Elim was taught that duty is not a burden, but an inheritance, and that a life well lived is one that leaves no question of its purpose. And yet one evening, he asked a question anyway. "Father, on other worlds they say a child may become anything when they grow up. Is that truly so?" His father did not answer at once. Instead, he moved to the archive of lineage and selected a crystal, one worn smooth by generations of careful hands. "There is a story," his father began, "that every Cardassian child comes to know. A simple one. Elegant, even. It follows a single family, across 7 generations." The crystal awakened. Faces appeared, one after another. Similar, different, the same. A son who serves, a daughter who sacrifices, a life given to the Union, and then another. Elim watched. The pattern repeated, again and again. Each generation, his father continued, is offered a choice: comfort or duty, self or future, and each in their wisdom chooses correctly. A faint pause. "It is considered one of our finest works. Some might even call it a masterpiece." Elim tilted his head. "Does it ever end?" His father's expression did not change. Why would it? The crystal shifted once more, 7 lives blending into something seamless, indistinguishable, continuous. "On other worlds," his father said, "they seek stories of change, transformation, individual triumph." A quiet exhale. "We prefer something permanent, something more enduring." The projection dimmed slightly, as though inviting reflection. Or, if one were less charitable, one might call it repetitive. There was the faintest hint of amusement in his voice, so subtle it might have been imagined. "But repetition, Elim, is not a flaw. It is proof of stability, of loyalty, of a people who understand that greatness is not found in disruption, but in continuation." Elim looked again at the faces. He could no longer tell where one life ended and another began. "And if someone chose differently?" he asked. A dangerous question. His father considered it carefully. They would not be remembered in the same way. Not anger, not condemnation, something far more effective. Absence. Elim lowered his gaze. The crystal brightened once more, now revealing his own lineage. Generations of service, generations of steadfast certainty, generations of expectation. You see, his father said, his voice softer now, you are not asked to create meaning. You are asked to preserve it. He placed a hand on Elim's shoulder. You are the next thread. Elim nodded. Of course he did. And that night, as he slept beneath the quiet order of Cardassian design, he dreamed, not of meaning or of becoming something new, but of becoming something better, something stronger, something familiar, something reliable, something unbroken, like the generations before him, like the Cardassian Union. And so, in closing, on Cardassia Prime, children are not told stories of limitless possibility. They are told stories of stability and continuity, of sacrifice that does not end but is simply inherited. They learn that the highest honor is not to stand apart from those who came before, but to resemble them so completely that the future cannot tell the difference. In this way, the Union does not merely endure, it repeats. Perfectly. This has been another entry from the Interstellar Sleep Archives. Some cultures teach their children to chase freedom. Others teach them to perfect obedience, so completely that it feels like purpose. Of course, one might argue there is no difference, but that would depend entirely on where you were raised. If you enjoyed this story, consider liking the video and subscribing to the archive. It helps ensure more stories like this continue to reach you. And now, the archivist seeks your guidance. Tell me, which civilization should we explore next? The vision-seeking Bajorans, the tenacious Vidiians, or the treacherous Vaadwaurs? Choose carefully. After all, every story you hear is shaping you,